Hello everyone, welcome. In this video, we are going to see how we can calculate RSI using Excel. Okay, so RSI is a momentum indicator and it can be used to see whether a stock is actually overbought or oversold. And there is a really great um, blog in Investopedia which actually shows how RSI is calculated, and you will be able to see the formula also in this website. So RSI formula is here. So this is the one we have to calculate in Excel. Before that, let's get the data. So let's go to NSE and let's search for some sample stock. I'm taking Infosys here. So let's take Infosys. We need the historical data so that we can calculate RSI. So let's go to historical data and let's select 2 years worth of data because 2 years is the maximum available data in NSE. Filter, download. So now we have the data. Let's open the file. So once the file is open, it will look something like this. So it has a lot of information and we don't need all of them. We just need the date and the closing price of the stock. Okay. So let's just copy these two columns into a new, my bad. Let's paste it as values. Okay. So before we do the RSI calculation, let's sort the data also because we need it in an ascending format. Here it is in a descending format. So let's, okay. And the formula we saw was RSI is equal to 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus average gain and average loss. Okay. So let's do this. Let's write it down over here so that we can uh, able to see and understand the formula. Okay, 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus average gain divided by average loss. Okay, so we have the RSI formula here. Now what we are going to do is we are going to uh, break down this formula one by one, step by step, so that we will be able to calculate the RSI. Okay. So we need average gain and average loss. That's what has been mentioned in the formula. Okay, let's backtrack. Okay, so to calculate the average of something, you need the values. So we need the gain and the loss so that we can calculate the average on top of it. Okay, so in order to calculate the gain or loss, we need to understand from yesterday to today what is the change it has happened in the stock price. Okay, so these are all the steps we need to complete. So three steps is needed, and the last step is calculating the RSI. Okay, so let's prepare the columns one by one. Okay, now let's go ahead and format it a bit better. And yeah, let's save the file as Excel also because we are going to save the formulas. So that's okay. Now let's calculate the change. Okay, and let's maybe do this. Let's format it so that it will look a bit great. Okay, now you can see the formula and everything. So let's calculate the change. Okay, change is uh, current date minus previous date. Okay, and we can see, we can drag it down and it will have loss and gain over here. This step is now done. We have calculated the change. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to calculate the gain and the loss. Okay, so the gain and loss is already over here. What we are going to do is we're going to split them into gain and loss into two columns. Okay, so let's split it as gain and loss and say if the column is actually greater than zero, which means a gain, let us mark the let's just get the value. If it is not greater than 0 means let's ignore it. Okay. Yeah, the loss making rows will be shown as 0. So let's do the let's do the same thing over here. Let's get the loss value. So we have to get, if the change is less than 0, it's gonna be absolute value of what's the loss. Okay, otherwise 0. You can see the column is actually inverted, right? So when there is a gain, when there is a loss, it will be completely segregated. Okay, so this step is also complete. Now let's calculate the average gain and loss. Okay, so average gain and loss we have to calculate based on the uh, RSI timeline we are going to be focused on. So RSI usually comes in like two or three forms. So there is a 14-day RSI, there is a 200-day RSI, uh, your pick. Whatever the days you want to pick, you can pick it out. So let's say currently I'm taking 14-day RSI. So I need at least 14 values so that I can calculate the average on top of it. Okay. So in the average gain column, we have to take the first 14 rows of average in the 15th row and do average of the first 14 rows. Okay. Now we have the average over here. Let's copy the formula to the next one also, because obviously the loss is in the next column. So the formula will be perfectly copied. So we have the average gain and the loss. Okay. So the next step is we have to drag it down, right? So here there is a trouble. You should not be dragging it down as it is, because if you drag it down as it is means it will be a simple moving average, which is not going to be useful. In RSI, we need something called exponential moving average. Okay. So how to calculate that? Let me give you the formula. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to give the highest weightage to the very recent data, which is nothing but the average gain from the previous day. And we are going to give uh, 13 as the highest weightage. Okay. Sorry, I got navigated out. Okay. So we are going to give the 13-day moving sorry, we are going to give the recent data point 13 weightage, and we are going to get the uh, gain, current day gain. Okay, and then we are going to divide it by 14. So what we are doing is we are actually giving a weightage we are giving a weightage to the very recent moving average, and then we are including the current day gain or loss, and then we are dividing it by the number of days we are calculating as average. Okay, so this is how exponential moving average will be calculated over here. So we can copy this here also, and let's drag it down now. This is where a lot of the YouTube videos and blogs make a mistake, so please don't make that mistake yourself. Okay, follow this formula perfectly. And so we have the average gain and the loss. Okay, so the formula over here is we have to divide the average gain by average loss. Okay, so let's set the divided value. Okay, is equal to average gain is in the F column, average loss is in the G column. Okay, and let's drag it down, nothing else. Now let's calculate RSI. So RSI formula, we have it here. Okay, so what it is, 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus average gain divided by average loss, which is nothing but column H. Okay, so let's remove the also. Let's put another bracket here so that the formula doesn't get confused. Yes, let's drag it down. we have the RSI values. Let's format it a bit better so that we can um, be able to view the data better. Okay, I'm freezing the bands just to, okay, let me go to the very last part. So we have the data. Now we have to quality check the data. Okay, so to quality check, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the TradingView website. TradingView website is one of the established charting websites. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see the RSI from this website is actually the same with the RSI I have calculated, because anyways I need the quality data in order to have uh, in order to do any analysis. Okay, so I have the 14-day RSI over here. Let me check. So yeah, it is a 14-day RSI. So the last closing date over here, see the red label, it's 1448, and over here it says 30.94 as the RSI. Okay, so what we have here, the previous close date was the 1448 and we have 30.94. Okay, so what we have here, look at the below line. This one is RSI. So look at the purple label, 30.94. So when I hover over it, here the RSI value will change over here. So you can see that here. Can you see the numbers in the purple? Okay. So let's. I mean, I checked the very recent date. So let's go back by one data again. Okay. It says 35.26. 35.26. Let's go another day back. 38.97. 38.97. Yes. Now the RSI calculation I have done is perfect. I have the data and I have the RSI values also. Now I can use this for analysis or creating strategies. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this session. Subscribe to this channel without fail, because you will be getting a lot of algorithmic trading content when you are following me. So I hope to see you in the next video also. Thank you. Bye.